Hey girl, hey! Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to have you here. So today we're continuing my Best in Beauty series, and today we're going to be talking about high-end products. You can find these products anywhere, but they are typically, a little bit more pricier, but I think that they are worth the coins. So before we get started, if you're here and you're not part of the family, go ahead and subscribe. I upload videos 3 times a week, although I'm on holiday vacation right now, so this is pre-recorded, but come January when I come back, girl, we are going to be on it 3 times a week, maybe more if I can manage. Okay, so you know what? We have a lot to talk about. We're definitely going to get started. I want to talk about primers first. First one that I want to talk about is a primer that I am like almost out of. I'm pretty much scraping the jar at this point. This is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base, okay? This doubles as a moisturizer and a primer, but don't be fooled, it is a great primer. So as you can see here, I mean, look, I've got some left, but we're getting down to the wire. I do believe this is like, I want to say like $55 to $60. It is very expensive. I'm almost sorry to say it, but I really love it. And I've been talking about this on my channel for a really long time, like over a year, definitely, maybe 2 years. This is my second jar of this. It's phenomenal. It just makes your makeup look smooth like butter. The next one that I want to talk about is the Tarte Silk Canvas Primer. I really love this one. It kind of looks a little bit like a paste, and it comes with this little thing that you use to scrape it out of. Now, when you do first put it on, it looks pasty, especially if you have deeper skin. But when you put that foundation on top of it, it's like, damn, like it makes the pigment of your foundation look like just more pigmented than it usually is. So it increases the coverage and it just fills in your pores. It just looks like, I don't even know, like it just looks so smooth. It's such a great primer. Now, I wouldn't say that this has any like oil absorbing properties or anything like that. It just really like makes it look like silk. So my favorite mattifying primer, this one is from Huda Beauty. It's the Matte Perfection Base. And when I first bought this, I was planning on doing a review on it and I was like, oh, I'm probably gonna hate it. But I actually really like the way that this performs, and it's lightweight. It's mostly water. I believe it's like, I can't remember the percentage, but it's mostly water, and I just love how it absorbs the oil, but it won't make your skin look dry at all. I have it on today and it looks really, really nice, and it keeps my makeup in check for a long time. Now, depending on the foundation I wear, if I wear a matte versus dewy, if I wear a dewy one, I will have to touch up just a little bit, but it is such a good primer. And you do get, let's see, 1 fluid ounce. I want to say it's in the like $30 to $35 price range. So, but you use so little of it at a time that it's been lasting me a while. And I believe I got this, I want to say like end of July, August, and it's now December. So, I'm not anywhere near to being empty. So I think it lasts a while. So next up, another really great primer that I just love is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Primer. This is so like moisturizing. It just it makes foundations look so good. Now, I definitely favor this with the Fenty Pro Filter foundation itself, because obviously this primer is made to work with that foundation, so you're gonna get the best results there, but it still looks beautiful when I combine it with any type of foundation. I mostly like to use this in the cooler months because obviously like I have oily combination skin. So, I don't need to apply this in the summer, but definitely in the cooler months is when it's just my jam. Okay, so let's get into foundation. Now, oh my gosh, this one last winter, was my favorite. This is the Nars Natural Radiant Foundation. The shade that I have here is called Macau. Oh my god. Okay, so I have a picture from last winter, and I'm gonna like post it somewhere up here so you can see this. Now keep in mind this is taken in that golden hour kind of sunlight, so I mean, look, I really didn't have to do any touching up of the photo at all. It just made my skin look so incredible. It is more of a like semi-dewy foundation, and unfortunately it's not transfer proof, but I think it's made for all skin types. I've definitely seen people who have oily skin use it. You just have to make sure that you use a great primer, you bake, you know, all that sorts of stuff. But man, it just looks so skin-like. Moving on to a different foundation, the Bobbi Brown Skin Longwear Weightless Foundation. I held off on this for so long because when I see SPF on anything, I know it's usually guaranteed to make me break out. And I got the opportunity to work with the brand probably about halfway through the year, like in the summertime. And I was like, sure, okay, let's try this out. If it doesn't work out, it's fine, you know? And the day that I wore this, I remember I went to Montreal. It was so hot and humid. It was like in the 90s, and I was sweating all day. Like I felt gross. And I remember, you know, I asked my husband, I was like, hey, can you take a picture of me right here? I'll post a picture. Like it just looked so good. I will say, I mean, this isn't like transfer resistant or anything. Like if you're sweating, just, you know, take a damp beauty blender and just dab it on. Don't wipe with your hands or anything, but it still just looks fabulous. Like I don't know what kind of magic they got in here, but Bobbi Brown knows their stuff. Another good one, like I'm telling you, this was the year of the foundations, okay? This is the Smashbox Studio Skin 15 Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation. Now I just love this one. I have it on right now. Like look at it, okay? It just has such a great like overall smoothing effect, great coverage. You can really build it up. I mean, what I'm using is kind of like medium coverage. It's not too full, and it goes on, like when you first put it on, it does feel a lot more watery, so not as thick as some of the other foundations, especially the other ones in my collection. But I really like that because it makes it easier to spread in a fast amount of time, and it doesn't budge. Like you could go out, you could dance, you know, you're gonna be good. So another foundation that I really love, this one is definitely a demi matte foundation. This is the Cover FX Power Play Foundation. It's definitely a newer one, came out towards the latter part of this year, but it's so good. I really like the applicator. I really like the dispenser. It just dispenses like the right amount, and it's not very hard for it to come out. Now I haven't gotten towards the bottom yet, so I don't know how well that will perform, but the shade that I have here is G100. Okay, next up is a lot of people's favorites. This is the Fenty Pro Filter. This has been my favorite for a really long time, since it first came out. I just feel like it works on so many skin tones. The shade range is freaking phenomenal. The shade that I have here is 420. I mean, I just love, like when I use this foundation, I typically like to use a lot of Fenty products together because I feel like the look comes out so beautiful. I mean, you can use this on its own, mix it with a bunch of your different products, it's fine, but there's nothing like a makeup look that's like mostly Fenty. I don't know if you guys have tried that yet, but oh my god, it always looks so stunning. I mean, look at Rihanna, that's what she mostly uses, and now I can understand why. I'm like, okay girl, you doing your thing. Another one of my favorites, this is mostly a winter foundation for me, is the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. Now the shade that I have here is Golden Almond, but you know, I am due for a bit of a shade change because this one that I have here is just a bit more like yellow than I want, but they have a really great shade selection from what I've seen. I remember when I was shade matching myself the first time, it was amazing. Now this is definitely for like when you just want your skin to look skin-like, moisturized, slightly dewy, and it looks so beautiful. Now I will say, obviously this is not good for hot weather at all, but it just looks phenomenal. I'm such a sucker for foundations that really look skin-like. So another one of my faves is the Too Faced Full Coverage Do You foundation. Again, this is another skin-like foundation, so I'm giving you guys a lot of, you know, choices in that area. Obviously, I'm somebody who I do have oily parts of my skin, like my T-zone, and in the winter time I like to use foundations that are more skin-like, and then I like to use oil controlling products in my T-zone to help it so that I'm not like, you know, just an oily mess. But this one I really love, Applicator Super Bomb. This smells like watermelons. I've talked about this a lot on my channel, and you can see a more in-depth review on my Tutti Frutti collection video. Now let's talk about some concealers, shall we? So I've got 5 favorites and then 2 honorable mentions. Now the honorable mentions are great concealers, but they're ones that I just don't use as often because they are extremely full coverage. So some of you guys might really love it. I just don't tend to use it as often anymore, just on those days when I'm like really needing sleep. I'm gonna run through these kind of quickly because like I know that I'm taking a lot of your time. So the first one, my absolute hands down favorite. This is the Too Faced Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer. The shade that I have here is Chestnut. Oh man, like it's just so good. It's so full coverage. I have a tutorial on what I'm wearing currently, and this is in it, and oh my gosh, like I can't tell you. I have to keep it in my like everyday makeup stash. So being that I use this all the time, I'm really impressed. The coverage is so good. It's just a really great concealer all around. Like I have nothing bad to say about this. Next up, we have the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Concealer, and it is in the shade 6N. I love this concealer. It's more on the like natural side, very similar to the Nars Radiant Creamy, but a bit more coverage than that one. My only thing with this one is the applicator. It's just so tiny. I need to like really sweep it in there, you know, and I've mentioned that to you guys, but it's really good. I really like their shade range too. I think there can always be a little bit more, but I think that they're doing a really great job. And overall, this is such a good, like everyday kind of concealer. It doesn't crease. Obviously, you gotta set it though. You gotta set it, but it doesn't crease. So I really love it. Moving on. Okay, so this product is like everybody's favorite for a long time. This is the Tarte Shape Tape. Now I have this in the shade Deep. I use this to clean up my brows. Definitely when it gets a little bit more colder, I like to use this under my eyes. It is pretty thick though. The coverage is medium to full. I mean, it's not like as full as some of the concealers that I'm going to talk about, but it does its job, and it is very creamy. So if you do have those drier under eyes, then you'll probably really like this one. Okay, so next up, this concealer it's a pretty full coverage without looking like fake or cakey. This is the Nars Soft Matte Concealer. The shade that I have here is Amande or Amande? Amande, I think. And I love this. I mean, okay, the way to make this one work is you have to use a brush to apply it, and then you can use a beauty blender to blend it out. But I just love the full coverage, but it's still kind of natural. Like you just don't look, you know, like cake, you know what I mean? That kind of situation, but it's awesome. So I highly recommend, if you guys haven't had the chance, check this out. I think I do have a video comparing this concealer as well, and you can check that out if you want to see a more detailed review and wear test. So my next favorite, this is the Fenty Match Sticks. So this is the shade Suede right here, and I really like it. Priscilla Ono, she really like inspired me to get back into the matchstick products because I saw her using it and I saw how she applied it, how beautiful they look on the skin. And ever since then, I'm just like, yes, I love it. So when I use my Fenty foundation, I love to use this one as well. Even with more fuller coverage foundations, this performs really, really nicely on it. I just say that because I do have pretty dark circles, so I like them to be like as fully covered as possible without it looking too highlighted, if that makes sense. Anyway, this one is really, really good. I love all the Matchsticks product, as you'll see coming up. Okay, so now for my honorable mentions. These are like really, really, really full coverage. So if you like that full coverage look, girl, then this is gonna be for you. So the first one is the Urban Decay All Nighter. The shade that I use is Dark Golden. Now this concealer really needs to be applied obviously with a doe foot applicator, and then you blend it out either with your fingers or you use a brush. If you try to blend it out with a beauty blender, you're not gonna have a good time at all. And you'll see the imprint of the makeup sponge in the concealer. So that's why I don't suggest that. But if you follow, like they have little instructions, you can go to their website. If you follow those, like you're really gonna get that coverage, and it's like, it's there. Make sure that you also use a full coverage foundation with it, because I've used this with a medium or light coverage foundation and it just looks off to me. So, you know, just a little bit of caution. But the next one that I have here, this is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Full Coverage Anti-Aging Waterproof Concealer. Girl, this is all that and more. But it is very, very thick, and there is a little bit of a learning curve when you are learning to apply it. I think the brush is the best way to go, and then, you know, using your fingers. I mean, I haven't really liked it when I used a sponge, but you know, you can try it and see how it fares on your skin. This is like the best like winter full coverage concealer. It's just, it goes on thick, you know, don't say I didn't warn you. So a little bit goes a long way. The next category is powders, face powders to be specific. So I had to narrow it down to 4. And quite honestly for me, you know, I mostly like powders that are pigmented. I only have one powder in here that's a translucent powder, and that one is the Hourglass Veil. This is what I have like right under my eyes. It's the first layer of powder that I put to set my concealer, and I just love how instantly flawless it makes your skin look. In my tutorial that's coming up, you're gonna get to see how the comparison of, you know, the side that's set and the side that isn't set. You can just see it right away, but it looks so natural. It really stops the creasing. If you experience any creasing, you can use it all over your face too. It's definitely gonna give you that nice like airbrushed kind of look. Now the next ones here, I have the Dermablend setting powder. This is in the shade Warm Saffron. Now, if I have to apply any eye makeup after I've already done my complexion, I will usually bake, but I won't take it right under here. I'll like keep it down here, you know, with this powder. And it does, can't you see, like it looks like such a nice finish under here. Looks so good. So like I said, these two combined is what I use today. Now here we have the Laura Mercier powder, and you know what, when I first bought this I was like, okay, like it's good. I'm glad that they gave us a shade to work with, but ever since then I did end up getting a PR package from them, and they sent directions on how to use their like set down technique, and it's where you take like a little puff like this, and you know, you apply the powder and you kind of roll, like press and roll the powder. So you don't sweep it away with your brush, you just press and roll, and that gives such a beautiful finish. So ever since then, I like fell in love with this powder. I think it's bomb. My favorite use for it is to like cut out or clean up the bronzing or contour area if it just looks a little bit messy, you know, and it gives such a nice appearance. Actually, they don't recommend that you set this under your eyes. You can't apply it right here, but don't take it up here because it will accentuate any fine lines. So that's a little bit of a tip. I know I had some problems with that in the past, but regardless, it's a great powder. All right, so next up we have the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder. So this is a setting powder that I like to put on the perimeter of my face to kind of bronze it up, just, you know, give it like a little bit more of a dimension, and you get a lot. And my favorite part is that it has a little protector cap so that the powder doesn't just spill on here. I love that. That makes it so great for traveling. I don't have to worry about it spilling all over my makeup bag, you know, like it's just so nice. And the finish of this powder is just, it sets without looking too dry, which is always what I'm looking for. And it just gives such a nice warm accent to like my skin tone. I have heard good things about the other shades, so obviously if you're not my skin tone, you can definitely try those out, and I want to know if you like them. Be sure to put that down in the comments if you already use it and you like it. All right, so for cream contour, I only have two products that I really love. The first one here is Fenty Espresso, another one of the matte sticks, and I really love this. You guys have seen me use this in a lot of tutorials. The only thing I gotta say is that it's definitely necessary to warm this up on the back of your hands before you apply it to your face. That way it goes on and it feels a lot more creamier because of the warmth from your hand warming it up. Otherwise, besides that one, I also have this one. So this is the Smashbox Studio Skin Stick Foundation, and I did a review of this foundation, and although I love the finish of it, honestly, it's gone so quickly, but the actual contour part of it does last quite a while, and it's so good. I'm wearing it today. It's such a nice complement. It's definitely a little bit of a cooler contour shade, as you can see here, but it's so nice. I just love the way it blends. It's so natural. It's not harsh at all. It's a really great contour. As far as bronzers go, like bronzers that are higher end, I really only like consistently use one, and that's the Anastasia Beverly Hills powder bronzer in mahogany. And some of you guys may remember that I started off really not liking it. I bought it and it just sat around for a while, and it really complements you know, me when I'm more like a deeper skin tone, but when it goes to really light in the winter, sometimes it can just not look good. But I've been loving it for the latter half of the year. I really love the way it blends. I think you get a lot of product for the price, so I think it's definitely worth the money. So when we're talking about illuminators, I mean, there are a lot of really good ones, so it was really hard for me to narrow it down. But a lot of illuminators I love putting on top of my primer and underneath my foundation to give it more of a like lit from within look, if you know what I mean. So the OG favorite is the MAC Strobe Cream Bomb.com. I bought the smaller size. It's the 1 ounce size, and honestly, this lasts me so long because you really only need just a little bit of it. You don't need a lot. It's really great. It can go well under a matte foundation if you just kind of want just a little bit of glow, but you still need to be matte, you know what I mean? Then we also have the Nars Orgasm Illuminator. This is so nice. It's more of like a sheen, if you know what I mean. I'm gonna actually swatch this for you so you can see. So it's not like a blinding illuminator, but it's a really nice sheen on the skin, and it just blends out so beautifully. A great base for any rose gold highlights. It can also just go on top of bare skin if you like that look. Definitely probably more for the summertime. Unless you live somewhere that's a little bit warmer in the winter, then that's not not going to be a problem. It's not like transfer proof or anything, so it's definitely going to rub up on your clothes, but I really like it for using it on the face. Now, as far as more like blinding illuminators, we have two here from the Anastasia Liquid Glow line. This one is Peach Fizz and this one is Bronze. They are both amazing. Peach Fizz is definitely more of a champagne-y gold. I've done like a really nice swatch for you right here. So it's really blinding. So if you have a champagne gold kind of highlight, it's going to be a really great base for that. And then we also have Bronze, and Bronze right here is a deeper gold color. So they're both really nice. They can both add more dimension to your highlights if that's what you're looking for and give you that nice sheen. Like if you can see here with my highlight, I definitely combined one of these cream illuminators and then also a powder highlight, so you get more of that sheen kind of vibe. Now you guys have also seen me talk about the Fenty cinnamon stick. Oh my gosh, it's just so beautiful. A beautiful rose goldy highlight. Definitely a must-have in your collection. Works beautifully on top of other Fenty products and honestly anything, but you know, like I said, I love to use Fenty products together because I feel like the complete look is just so flawless. And then for that bling bling pow, okay, you can use the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops, and the shade that I like to use is Candlelight. It's so pretty. I mean, come on, like just look at that sheen coming out of here. It's awesome. You really only need one drop. I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about this one before, but I really had to put it in my favorites because it's something that I keep going back to. Now, when it comes to powder highlights, you guys know it's so hard for me to choose because I am a highlight fanatic, but I decided to stick with highlights that just came out this year that I love. So the list isn't too long. Well, close to this year. We have a couple exceptions. So the first one is Artist Couture highlights. I really love Artist Couture highlights. The powder forms, they're so beautiful. So the first one here is Illuminati, which is like just this beautiful like blinding powder. The next one is Le Peach, which is what I have on right now. So nice. These are both so nice. And this is part of the collaboration with Jackie Aina, who I love. And anyway, you just can't go wrong with these two. And we can't forget LeBron's, baby. LeBron's is like just so good. I keep coming back to it and being like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Why am I using any other highlight? It just looks so beautiful on deep skin. If you haven't copped it yet, go get it, because you're missing out. This is just I just like love the rose gold vibes from this. You can never go wrong with it. Then we have this big daddy of a highlight, okay, the Laura Mercier translucent loose setting powder glow. So this is basically just a bunch of highlights, okay, and this is the most natural but like glowing from within highlight look. Now I tell you guys all the time, just use a little bit. You literally get like as much as the translucent setting powder. It's like the same size. You definitely want to use the brush. I mean, you can use a smaller one, but like I've told you guys before in previous videos, this brush that is from Laura Mercier, it's their highlighting brush, applies it like flawlessly and really hugs that cheekbone area. And you literally need like a light dusting and then you're good to go. Don't put a lot, because it's always better to build up slowly than to go in with too much and then you don't want to look like a Tin Man or something, you know? So the next one that I love is from Too Faced. This is from their Tutti Frutti collection, which honestly I just loved so much. It was such a nice surprise. The products are pretty pricey from that line, but I feel like they really perform well. This is the Strawberry Sparkle highlight, and and at first you're like, okay, so it's like a stick highlight, whatever, but it's a cream to powder formula. So it slides on, it's not gonna disturb your makeup, and it looks just like a powder highlight. So I'm just gonna swatch this for you guys. It doesn't really feel creamy, but you get this nice like strawberry, rose gold kind of sheen from it, and it looks even more beautiful when you blend it out. So next up, this one is another pricey one, okay? This is the Natasha Denona Diamond and Blush Palette. Now I haven't talked about this on my channel in a while, but it's something that I love using. So she has two. There's this one is Daria, and then there's another one. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it does have more conventional shadows for deeper skin tones. I think that they're both good. I really wanted to get this one because it was different from anything that I've had in my collection up until that point. Now, let me just show you. This is what the palette looks like. You've got the two blushes here, but I just love this. What is it? The Diamond Glow Cream Base. One of the best highlighter cream bases that I've ever used, and it looks beautiful on my skin as well. It's just, oh my gosh, like it just looks like a subtle sheen, like the light just hit her face just right, you know? And then if you really want to take it, you know, take it there, she's got these extreme highlighters here and here. These are powder ones. And then if you want a rose gold and a pink highlight, then you can also use this one right here. They all look really, really beautiful. The blushes aren't like my hands down favorite, but I mean, they work. I really just got this for the highlights because they're what I love. You have a nice sturdy mirror up in here, and it's just nice and compact. I feel like it's so good for traveling too because it just like stays sealed, you know? So let's move on to blush. First off, I gotta start with my OG favorite from this year. It's the MAC and Patrick Star blush, Take Me Home. When you open it up, this is the cute little compact. It has a deeper mauve shade and it looks maybe like a shimmer, but it doesn't have too much shimmer in there. I just like swirl my brush in there. This is what I use today, and it gives such a nice compliment, but it's not too overpowering. So this year, I really loved the blushes from the Too Faced collection, the Tutti Frutti line, and I stay using Cherry Bomb and this one, Pomegranate. Okay, let me open them up for you. I know you guys have probably heard me talk about them a bunch, but I'm sorry, but they're good, okay? And they smell so good. It's not as strong as when I first bought them, but they still smell good. So this is Cherry Bomb. You can use them separately. You can mix them. This is Pomegranate right here. This one kind of sometimes gives me like 80s vibes because of that the pink blush, you know? So I only use this when I want to have a more subtle eye and lip look, but then the blush can really stand out, you know what I mean? Also, the Laura Mercier blushes, they're really, really, really good. I don't talk about them as much on my channel, at least probably for the last few months as I would like to, but I still stay using them. So, okay, I'm gonna show you the brightest one. This is Grapefruit, but it's still very, very pretty. Then we have Pomegranate right here, and then Cure Royale is this beautiful, like deep purple plum. It's just, they're all really, really good. So it's really up to your taste as far as which one you think is gonna suit you. Definitely suggest that you guys go swatch them at Sephora or any other store if you can find them. For eyes, it was honestly like so hard to narrow this down because I could do a whole video on eyeshadow palettes, but yeah, I've compiled a good little list here for you. So the first one is from Pat McGrath, Mother, okay? This is the Mothership 5 palette, and I love this. Like, there are so many looks, and it kind of looks intimidating because you see all these different shimmers and stuff, and sometimes you're like, oh shoot, you know what? If I'm not like that good at eyeshadow? You know, can I really pull a good look off? And yes, you can. The mattes are so easy to work with. I really like applying the shimmers with my fingers. These two are like little toppers that go beautiful, and you get this beautiful red shade. I mean, how often do you end up with like a true red shade? You know what I mean? And it's just like, it feels like quality. It's heavy. The mirror is like solid. It's amazing. It's like something that I just treasure. Now the next one, you might not consider the brand Dose of Colors to be a high-end brand, but honey, those prices, hell yeah, they are high-end with those prices. I do love the Dose of Colors DesiXKaty Friendcation palette so much. I didn't really know how I was gonna feel about it. I thought I was gonna end up returning it, but when I did try it out, I was like, wow, like this is really, really, really nice. Now, surprisingly, I love using the mattes as transition or to deeper the outer corner, and this little trio here is just stunning, okay? So is this, Just a Kiss, and this shade right here is a great topper to just make any other shade more sparkly. They all just work so nice. Like, I can't say enough good things, and it was like one of the eyeshadow palette surprises of the year for me. Also want to say, anytime I wear this, I get so many compliments, okay? So it's definitely worth investing in. Okay, so this palette, I know it might not be a lot of other people's favorite, but it's one of my favorites, and I'm gonna let you know why. So the Fenty Moroccan Spice palette is really one of my favorites. Now, I think the reason why this palette works for me is because when I purchased it, I purchased the Fenty primer and the two brushes that went along with the collection. And I feel like that really, really helped me as far as, you know, the performance of it, the blendability. I'm not suggesting that that's something that you need to do. I'm just saying, you know, when I use all those products together, the eye look just looks so beautiful, so flawless. So, I mean, I can't say enough good things about this palette. It's got your bronzes, it's got your great transitions, you know, your pops of color, your darker shades. It's like an all-in-one. So I always tell you guys when I talk about this palette that honestly, like, this palette was such a surprise to me. The Naked Cherry from Urban Decay, when I saw pictures online, I was like, ugh, doesn't look great, you know, but oh my gosh, when I got this palette and I swatched it, okay, I know it doesn't look like much, but swatching on deeper skin tones looks so good. You know, it's like everything I wanted I think it's the Naked 3 palette. Everything that I wanted the Naked 3 palette to be, this is. It's just so beautiful. I highly encourage you guys. In fact, you know, if I can find the footage, I'm going to insert it here of what it looks like, swatches and stuff. It's so lovely, okay? If you like soft, romantic pinks, you know, like, you're gonna love this on your eyes. Even though, you know, I do pink looks sometimes, I'm usually not a big fan of pinks, but I like these looks on me. Like, I always get compliments when I use these shades. Now, the next one, I believe that this one came out this year. My gosh, I feel like last year and this year are kind of blending together in terms of makeup releases because so much comes out. But I really, really love the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette. This is like a true classic, okay? You have so many transition colors. I love mulberry all over the lid. Oh my god, looks so sultry. I love these shimmers. This bronze shade, honey, people will see it on you from miles away. Okay, but you can really play it up with the glam looks. You can keep it as a softer glam. You can really do so much, and I feel like it's really underrated. I know a lot of people like the sultry palette, but honestly, when I took a look at the sultry palette, I was like, I like my soft glam better. Like, it just suits my skin tones a lot better. All right, so let's talk about lippies, okay? So, I know you guys are probably like, what are you wearing right now? I'm wearing Fenty Uncensored, and this isn't exactly a new product for this year, but I do have to give a shout out to the Fenty lip paint. So Uncensored, which I love, and also this one, Unveil. Oh my god, they're both so beautiful. I love a red lip, but I do have to say, I get a lot of attention, like weird attention, and you know, I'm a married lady, so sometimes I don't wear red lips as much as I would love to, but it is a very, very beautiful, especially like how I'm wearing it right now with a darker liner. I also really like this one because it's just the most beautiful, like chocolate, like milk chocolate shade. You guys have seen me wear this plenty of times. I even modeled the newer Fenty lip paint shades if you want to go check out that video as well. If you guys like a little bit of some holiday sparkle on your lips, I've got the Tarte Lip Bling, still a favorite of mine. I purchased this at like the beginning of this year, but it's so good. It's really nice, like putting it on the center of your lips and just diffusing that out with your fingers. You get a little bit of some bling bling pow on your lips, you know? I feel like the holidays are like the perfect time to wear lip, you know, additions like this. Speaking of like sparkle on your lip, I love like, these lip products are like my everyday, you know? I live for this Bite Beauty. This is Bronze Pearl. Oh my gosh, okay. It is the most beautiful chocolate shimmer. You can wear this alone. You can wear this with a chocolatey or a dark liner. Any skin tone can wear this. It just looks so lovely. So we couldn't talk about lip products without including the Balm Diggity Fenty Gloss Balm. Okay, I love Gloss Balm alone, but also when you combine it with any lip combo. So the next lipsticks that I want to talk about are my nude lipstick, like favorite colors that I wear on a regular basis. I mean, I stay switching it up, but I do want to talk to you guys about what my regulars in rotation are. Now, my favorite is from MAC. It's the MAC Lip Tensity lipstick in Toast and Butter. I love to combine this with MAC Chestnut. Oh my god, it looks so good together. So this is like a really great mauve-y nude. Now I'm gonna show you a bunch of mauve nudes. Don't tell me if they're the same color, but they just all look good, okay? The next one here is from Urban Decay. It's called 66. So this one's a little bit lighter, but still pinky mauve-y in that same family. Oh my god, looks so good with a brown liner. Girl, you gotta try it. Next, we have Urban Decay's Fuel 2.0, one of my freaking favorites. So they are a little bit different, you know, they vary slightly, but they all look so good. You can't choose. Then we have the Laura Mercier. This is their Velour Extreme Matte Lipstick, and this one, so beautiful as well. So here are all those different shades here. Different types of nudes, you know, whatever suits your fancy. As far as lip glosses, I feel like no one ever talks about these. These are the Urban Decay Ultra Cushion Lip Gloss. And I did a whole review on the whole line, but the ones that I like the most and use the most are 1993 and Fuel. So 1993 is just like a really nice, it could be a nude, I guess. Just a really nice gloss, goes well alone, on top of a liner, however you choose to wear it. And Fuel is definitely for like a nude lip combo, but again, so lovely. I love the smell. It smells like peppermints. So, I mean, it might not be your thing, but I really like them. Especially, it's like puts me in that holiday feel, you know what I mean? So if you love nude lip combos, I just gave you a whole bunch. But the next lip product that I want to talk about, this is from Urban Decay. As you can tell, I love their lip products, okay? They're just great. This is Cherry. It's from their Naked Cherry line. Oh my god, if you like a vampy lips, let me show you what this looks like. Okay, if you didn't see my video where I did a whole look using the collection, like girl, girl, try it. It just looks so scrumptious. Like, I love it. So those are the lip products that I'm loving so far. Now, those are the lip products that I've been really digging this year. So, and now that I just talked your ear off for like forever, sorry, we basically went through like the best of the best of my makeup collection. I definitely want to know, what are some of your favorite high-end products? I love hearing your guys' thoughts on these because it helps me try new things. It also helps others in the comments who might be interested in trying something new. So if you're interested, just peruse the comments, see if you find something you might like. As always, don't forget to check out some of the other videos in my Best in Beauty series. You don't want to miss them. There are some great stuff, especially the drugstore video. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!